Howdy folks, I'm a blingy ball, dropping below bit by bit.
I'm Amber.
And here's more blingy balls for us to fall on a day in the near future.
Just the ball drop, they're all sparkle.
Yes, exactly. And folks, don't forget, we have a live stream this Sunday. For more information, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Working with the Boyfriend of My Husband's Mistress for Revenge? I'm a mid-30s female, and my husband John, a mid-30s male, has been having an affair for almost 2 years. I had noticed that he was acting suspiciously about 1.5 years ago. I didn't have any proof, but circumstantial evidence pointed me to his co-worker Eva, an early to mid-20s female. My husband would make excuses to be at work and on his phone all the time. Other co-workers on his team were not doing the same hours. I did a little snooping and contacted Eva's boyfriend Nick on social media and asked him if Eva was also increasing her time at work. Nick replied that he had also noticed Eva acting suspiciously, but didn't have the solid evidence of an affair. We agreed to work together to figure out what was going on. Little by little, the evidence started to pile on, and we were staring at an affair in the making. We made a plan to get real proof. A couple months later, they had a work trip. Eva packed some lingerie, and John had protection. That was enough proof for both of us. Nick and I hatched a plan for revenge. Our state is a no fault, so an affair wouldn't help me in divorce. However, we knew that they were using their work phones to conduct an affair. We put together evidence, the deleted messages on the messaging apps on their phones, the increased work hours, John volunteering Eva for a promotion, reimbursed credit card charges, and sent them to their work. John and Eva were questioned by HR, and they were both asked to resign. John and his family were deeply unhappy because I went to his work HR and he lost his job for a personal matter. He says that I should have confronted him before he got into an affair, instead of waiting for him to trip up. He also accused me of having an emotional affair with Nick. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, and there is actually a lot of additional kind of bits and pieces here. I don't think it matters for our judgment, but I do want to add this information in real quick. Extension Pays 8521 says, have you started divorce proceedings? With him out of a job, will that negatively impact you? It's funny that he said that you should have confronted him before he got in an affair. Does he not realize that he was already in an affair and had already tripped up? And OP replies, yes, we have started divorce proceedings. It will probably take 6 months to a year. It will not impact me. We both had full-time work and no children. Furthermore, he was asked to resign instead of being fired so he can still get another job. Our assets will likely be split straight down the middle, but he'll likely fight me in court until we end up in the same place anyways. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm not going to police a grown man. I want a partner that I can trust and not someone whose phone and computer I have to check. And Julia X 1984 says, not the jerk. Turning people in for rules that they broke while hurting you is not revenge. It's justice. Lying about them, that would have been unjustly vengeful. And OP replies, yes, we made sure to have ironclad evidence so HR could make their own decision. Some choices that John and Eva made really had Nick and I shaking our heads. How stupid did they think we were? And I'm Here for Black People says, this sub is full of really bad attempts at creative writing. Pray tell, how would you, a non-employee, get access to credit card reimbursements and John's role in her promotion that was ironclad? And OP replies, I don't care to prove whether this is real or fake to you since it's a moot point, but for anyone who is trying to get evidence for an affair. For every charge on a company credit card, John had to provide receipts. He kept physical receipts and scanned them on his phone. I can see the physical receipts and the PDFs that he has saved. He had to submit them to the company, so they already have access to them. In the receipts, you can see that the food was for more than one person, sometimes as obvious as 2 entrees, when it was supposed to be just him working. We included the receipts and pointed out the excess orders. We also provided evidence of other excesses. The second thing is that we didn't have access to the paperwork that showed who suggested Eva for promotion, but we knew that John had. We did know that the company would have documentation, so we included that. In her year-end review, Eva was commended by John in the feedback section. Like I said, the evidence is there if you can dig enough. That was pretty much all of the comments that I wanted to read, but there are a couple more that I will read, and then we'll get into our discussion. Accomplished Toe 2878 says, have you considered becoming a private investigator? Because you would be the best one that I have ever seen. And OP replies, definitely not. This only worked because John was my husband and Eva was Nick's girlfriend. We knew them well. We could match up what they told us. Furthermore, it also only worked because John and Eva worked at the same place and Nick and I knew the company would have access to a lot of information. For example, I know that from experience that IT can access a lot of things on company phones, and even if employees don't know about it, they can monitor chats and emails. Also, for everything that my husband used a company card for, he has to provide a receipt. I can see and the company can see that the food that he ordered is for more than one person, and the things that he ordered are in excess of what typically would be allowed. Normally, this kind of stuff would not be enough to raise flags, but if you combine it all together, you get a pretty whole image of misusing company resources. If Nick and I were private investigators, I don't think that we would know where to start, but it would be fun. And Weird Pomegranate 388 says, you and Nick should get together when this is all over, not the jerk. Already trying to ship them. And Mini Schedule Duck says, for real, they've both become private investigators and work as a team. Let's go. And OP replies, honestly, though most of this was gut-wrenching, knowing that my husband was betraying me in the worst possible way. Working with Nick on getting the evidence and using all the stuff that we had learned from TV and books was a lot of fun. It was a good excuse to binge watch a bunch of thrillers. The stuff from shows was completely useless, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. If it wasn't my marriage, this would have been one of my favorite memories. Alright folks, what do you think of this situation?
Not the jerk. OP and the boyfriend collected information and presented it to the company. They didn't lie. They didn't misrepresent anything. They didn't force the company's hand. They just like, hey, some of your employees are misusing company funds and pushing unfair promotions, and the company chose what to do from there.
You know, I think that OP's husband has a point. OP should have warned him ahead of time about not having an affair. I'm just kidding. Like how?
Well, like it's almost like, you know, when they gave their marriage
Yeah,
vows.
almost like they gave marriage vows that would have said, "Don't cheat," right? I just love how he's like, you should have told me there would have been consequences for cheating. What do you think? What do you think?
Why didn't you just swoop in and stop me? It's like, dude, you're a grown adult. Your partner shouldn't have to police your actions.
Yeah.
And as if that would really have stopped him, it would just have made him sneakier.
Yeah, I think in the end, OP really didn't have too much of a choice when it came to the divorce. And I can understand them wanting to report this to the company. They could have kept it quiet if they had wanted to, but also it isn't fair to other coworkers if people are getting promotions and misusing company funds and stuff like that. And I think that that's just not a good thing to do. It sounds like Eva was able to make more progress in her job than what she was rightly supposed to based off of a senior person at the company's input. And I think that that's really regrettable and unfortunate. And I think that this is one of those situations where OP is going to have a really hard time recovering from it. So hopefully she can go into therapy and kind of talk things through and work things through. I don't think that she and her partner in crime, Nick, should get together. You know, not everyone has to be shipped together, you know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Cover the Money That My Boyfriend Lost to My Ex? This has been going on since the 23rd of December, but we are still arguing about this, and it's really stressing me out, and I can't really ask my family, so I'm turning to the internet. I'm a 27-year-old female, and I visited my family for the holidays with my boyfriend Sam. Before Christmas Day, my brother invited Sam to a poker game that he was going to with some friends, one of whom is my ex, Max. We are on good terms, and Sam knows Max is my ex. I told Sam not to go. My brother and his friends gamble what most people would consider a lot of money at these games, and Sam doesn't have that kind of money. Sam said that he doesn't want to say no because it was an opportunity to get to know my brother better, and he was touched to have been invited. He said that he would just play for a bit and then say that he had too much to drink and just hang out. I told him at least 5 times that this was a bad idea and why, but he was adamant that he needed to accept the invitation. He went, and he ended up losing a lot of money, enough that he won't be able to make his half of the rent this month. We live together. Most of that money he lost to Max. Max plays a lot of poker and took pretty much everyone's money. Sam is obviously upset and explained himself by saying that he just got caught up in not looking like a loser and wanting to fit in. I said that's okay, but you need to go ask for the money back. Sam said that he couldn't. I said that he definitely could. Max will give it back to him, no questions asked. Sam said that he wasn't going to humiliate himself by asking my ex for money back. I said that's fine, but how are you planning on paying the rent? He said that he was hoping that I would cover it for this month. I said there was absolutely no way that I would be paying for his irresponsible decisions, especially after I gave him every opportunity not to be in this situation. Sam said that it was very cold and that the money would make no difference to me. But for him, it's the difference between looking like trash to my family and friends. He is sure asking for the money back would get around. I can't ask my family for opinions on whether I'm the jerk here for saying no, because I know they would go nuts if they knew that he essentially was asking me for money. So I just need some people who aren't invested to share an opinion. Edit, to the people who pointed out that the rent needs to be paid. Obviously, if push comes to shove, I will pay it. But right now, if he puts me in that position, I don't really know if the relationship will be sustainable. That's why I need a judge on whether or not I'm being unreasonable. Alright folks, what do you think? Reasonable? Unreasonable?
Reasonable. I don't think OP's the jerk here. Her boyfriend is an adult. He made a bad choice. He now has to find some way to pay the rent. OP even warned him, don't do this. He went ahead and did it anyway, lost money he couldn't afford to lose.
Yeah.
And this is a good life lesson for him, you know, if he has to come up with the money somehow. If OP bails him out, it's going to happen again. And, you know, OP's brother will invite him again because brother will be none the wiser that he can't afford this.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose more money and expect OP to bail him out, and it becomes a pattern.
Yeah. I unfortunately think that that may very well become a pattern, and I don't know that OP can bankroll this forever, right? It seems like hopefully he got his lesson, right? But OP warned him and said, don't do this. You're going to be broke if you do this. And he just didn't listen. And I don't even understand, like, at a certain point, why he didn't just stop putting money in.
Well, because he wanted to impress, you know, OP's brother or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
dude, just no, you made a bad choice, and now you have to live with it.
Yeah. I mean, alternatively, OP could ask their ex for the money back.
Well, it's not OP's position. OP.
No, I know it's not.
This is Sam's mess to deal with. I don't think OP should interfere in any way. Just let him sort it out, and if he can't, then maybe he's not a good fit for OP.
No, but also, if OP did it, how much more embarrassing would it be for him?
Oh, it would absolutely be more embarrassing.
And then
but...
how much more would it get around at that point in time, right? So maybe OP suggesting that would put a light of fire under his butt to get him to actually get the money back. And I mean, I feel bad because no one wants to ask for money back like this, and you shouldn't gamble if you can't afford to gamble, right? I mean, certainly there's some people who do gamble and gamble responsibly. OP's boyfriend is clearly not one of those people. And, you know, if you can't bet that kind of money, if you can't lose that kind of money, then don't play, right? And for anyone who's actually looking for advice on like how not to lose their shirt in something like this, one, the best way is not to gamble.
Yes.
But two, always make sure you have a very fixed amount of money that you are able to lose. So if you go into some place that you're going to gamble and you say, I can lose $20, then that's the only amount of money that you will play with, right? And after that certain point in time, you bow out and you say, I'm sorry, I'm broke.
Yeah, don't bring a cent more than that on
Yeah,
you, so you can't even
exactly.
be tempted.
Exactly. And so that resolves, you have a budget, you know how much money you can spend, and it's just like spending money at the movies for some people, but make sure you never go over what you say you're going to, because then that's when you get problems.
Yeah, or just abstain entirely. That's
Yeah.
the best way to go.
Well, and I think that certainly that's probably the more practical way to go. If, especially if you have somebody who is a card shark and is going
Mm-hmm.
to essentially take advantage of you, don't gamble with a professional gambler, right? And that's the second rule of gambling. The first rule is don't gamble. The second rule is don't gamble against a professional gambler. The house always wins. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and we have a jovial Amstein joke.
What do kittens like to dance to?
Now, kittens like to dance to pop music, actually, most of the time. You would be surprised. You wouldn't think that kittens would prefer pop music, but if you ever leave the house and there's pop music going, your house will come back destroyed, and it's because the kittens danced up a storm.
Music.
Music. That would make sense. That
And
would
then
make sense.
we have an illustration today.
Yeah, is that the last joke on the
Yeah, it
page?
is the last one on the page.
So here's Amber's full page that she designed.
In Canva, using their default images.
And I have Earl Grey. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday! Folks, we have a live stream in a couple of days, so make sure to have your ear to the ground and your eyes to the sky or something like that. I don't know. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a live stream. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it written in mustard on a hot dog.
Well, if it's written in mustard on a hot dog, you probably don't get a lot of letters to it. So we'll just go with don't gamble.
Don't gamble. If I had a hot dog with don't gamble written on it, that would be impressive. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!